business trip.
Do the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. Hey everybody, welcome to DPI Top 3. I'm Matt with the DPI podcast. Over on the other screen, Peter with Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. If you've been here before, you know how this works. If you haven't, thanks for joining us. We are going to randomly choose a category. We're going to cancel something. Me, I guess. And then and then we are going to have 20 seconds to come up with our top 3. I've got a bag full of poker chips here and a spreadsheet with a bunch of numbers on it, and we are going to go with number 1. I don't think we've ever done number 1. So
I just did number 1 before the show.
There you go. All right, here we go. The top 3 changes that we would make to Magic Kingdom. Wow. Okay.
What?
You've got 20 seconds.
Do you want to go to Disney? Contact me at Princesses of the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you on your amazing itineraries.
Yeah. This one's interesting, yeah.
Okay, I got my number 3, and then I'll figure out number 2 and 1. You want me to go first?
I've got my number 1, but
Ooh.
I think I can. I'm good. I think I've got 3 good ones. So
I just like make up. I just make up stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it.
Okay, so this is. If you go way back in our show's history, you will find where Matt and I kind of went into each park and we talked about the details about the parks and all of this stuff. And so one of my favorite kind of like trivia things is that Disney is very, very good at theming their areas. They're very, very good. They want you to immerse yourself in an experience. And Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom, if you look at the walkway, it is very intentionally pitched down, and it is kind of like a light brown color to simulate colonial roads in cities. And back then, there was no plumbing, and so people would literally just throw their chamber pots out. And so if you look in Liberty Square, you have intentionally sloped down to the middle point paths that are kind of a lighter brown, and then going through the middle is a darker brown that is supposed to represent back old colonial cities where there would literally be a river of excrement flowing through the town. And Matt and I talk about this as we talk about Disney and their ability to theme and all of that stuff. But little known fact is to really keep on theme, there is no bathroom in Liberty Square. The nearest bathrooms are the ones that are in the walkway between Adventureland and Frontierland,
yes,
and the ones over in the Rapunzel-themed area heading into Fantasyland.
Yes.
So you have a dry spell of bathrooms in this park from Rapunzel to past the trading post, a relatively large stretch. Now there are technically bathrooms in Diamond Horseshoe, but you have to like be eating there to go to that bathroom. They're not just going to let you come walk in. And so if I was in charge, I do think the theming there is a bit over the top. Perhaps we could find some area over there by Columbia Harbor, or back there behind Hall of Presidents over by Sleepy Hollow. Just put in a bathroom facility there, because that is a pretty big stretch. There have been multiple times where I'm kind of like in that Liberty Tree area, and I'm sitting there going, well, gosh darn it, where's the nearest bathroom? Man, that nearest bathroom is like a decent hike from right here. So if I were in charge, I would put a bathroom into the Liberty Square area. Just it's just a pretty long stretch without one.
There you go. There you go. That's a good start on this. I'm going a little logistics on my first one, and I have an issue where the security is for the Contemporary. If you're walking from the Contemporary, because so many people ride buses to Magic Kingdom to go to the Contemporary for dining reservations. You have to go in to the Magic Kingdom security area, go through security there, then come out and walk down that path to the Contemporary.
Or go through to get on the monorail to go to Contemporary. So,
yeah.
Either way, you got to come in,
Yeah. So I would love to see some loop around or shoot where if you're riding a bus into the Magic Kingdom area, that you can get to the Contemporary, and the monorail's a bad option because you go through security before you go on the monorail. But if you're walking back to the Contemporary where you don't have to go through security, something simple to where either they move that security table down more towards the entrance of Magic Kingdom, because it's right there at that crosswalk, basically.
Yeah, you could very easily pull the Contemporary crosswalk security up to where it starts to widen out into that plaza in front of the scanning into the park. Yeah, and then you could get a right shoot to just stay out of security, and it would also kind of shrink security up. You wouldn't have to send security cast members all the way down that walkway. They could just be part of the Magic Kingdom security rotation area.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a bad idea. That's a very, very wonderful point.
So, like I said,
totally.
Logistically thinking out of the top one, but let's go ahead. Let's get to our choice number 2. Choice number 2, Peter. Where are you going?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so I'm letting you. Please feel free if I'm missing something, because perhaps I am. But when I think of the iconic princesses, okay, I've got Little Mermaid. I got Ariel. She's got a ride. I've got Belle, who has a fairy tale as well as Gaston's area, a Be Our Guest kind of. We got her.
Yeah.
We've got Snow White. She's got her thing. We've got Cinderella. Cinderella has her castle as well as the carousel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where, if I think of like the classic Disney princesses, where is Aurora in Magic Kingdom?
Fairy Tale Hall.
Right, like that's so she's got a castle in Disneyland, great, but I would love to see something, and then you've got even some newer princesses. Tiana's about to go into, like, we're making Tiana the whole Bayou adventure. Mm-hmm. We've got Tangled, at least we have her castle. Like, Aurora's not in Magic Kingdom, and she's one of the only princesses missing from Magic Kingdom. There's plenty of area back there to the right of Ariel's Grotto before you head into Casey Jr. Circus area. There's even plenty of area there kind of behind Small World by that Tangled area where we could, like, shoot some stuff off. I don't know. Fantasyland is missing one of the most iconic Disney princesses, whether it even just be in some architecture or some like nod to, I don't know, like, but give me something, give me a ride, give me a show, give me other than just like she's in Princess Fairy Tale Hall. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thought of I'm just thinking through Fantasyland, and Aurora's kind of getting the shaft, and it doesn't make sense. I get that she's got a castle, but you go over to Disneyland and there's plenty of Cinderella around. Like, there's no reason why we can't have Aurora over here.
In Disneyland Paris, Maleficent's dragon is under the castle.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I'm 100% on board with you right there. I mean, hell, they could have taken that area that they repurposed, that Moana meet and greet that they repurposed, and made that a Sleeping Beauty meet and greet, a very well themed Sleeping Beauty meet and greet, where you could have brought in, Sleeping Beauty, you could have brought in Maleficent, you could have done a lot of different things there because Maleficent's such a strong character during the not so scary parties and that kind of stuff. So,
right. I guess that. So if I was in charge, I would go into Fantasyland, and whether it's pulling out something and retheming it or whatever, there's got to be a place to put in some Aurora, either through ride or experience, because she's missing right now, and she's pretty much the only Disney princess that doesn't have anything big going on.
Yeah, nope, I'm there with you. Okay, so my last two are actually going to be kind of in the same area. I don't know how I'm going to word my number one yet, but my number two is redo Space Mountain. It's compared to now all of the other Space Mountains around the world.
Oh, Disneyland's destroys it.
Yeah, it's a hunk of junk. Redo it. Take the time, knock it down, do what they're doing in Hong Kong. Put a beautiful Space Mountain in there. You just put this huge, beautiful Tron show building right next to it. And it just makes it look like this old, decrepit dinosaur of a ride. Next year is going to be a big year for project announcements. Give World a new Space Mountain. And it's such a herky-jerky, 2-rail, single row passenger train. Update it, go to the new trains, make it a much better ride experience, upgrade the whole interior to where you can do the LEDs and the projection screens and that kind of stuff, to where you can do the things that all of the other Space Mountains can do now with Hyperspace Mountain and everything else that they're doing with that ride. It's just, that's the one ride that I feel like needs love now, because it's just been shadowed by Tron in that area. So
yeah, and that ride is just boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom, 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 boom. Like, I'm good for like a Space Mountain ride a trip. And I get off of it, and I'm like, yep, check, did it.
All right, let's get to our number ones. Peter, before we do your number one, where can people find you?
Facebook is the number one place. I was just talking with my wife the other day. The vast majority of my, a lot of my clients come from previous clients, kind of tell their friends and all of that stuff, because outside of this show, I don't really advertise my services. I have done 9 to 5. This is a passion, not a career. Dang it. I missed alliteration. I could have said this is a passion, not a profession. I apologize. But I really love doing it, and I have plenty of room for other clients in there. So if you are interested, find me on Facebook. The vast majority of my new clients, even though we have the website, we have this whole thing that Matt and I do, the vast majority of my new people, when I go, hey, where'd you find me? They go, oh, yeah, I searched Facebook. And good. And I know a lot of that Facebook traffic is obviously as a result of this show and the things that we do and keeping everybody up to date with the news and all of that good stuff. So find me over there. But alas, I will move on to my number one. And for my number one, I'm going to kind of take the same route as your number three, Matt. I am going to, with my third and my second one, I went into the park and instituted some changes. And of course, when we're talking about changes we would make, we're not even including the current blue sky that is lingering over Magic Kingdom.
I'm staying away from that 100%.
Right. I'm just going in and improving the current. I'm not looking at potential future expansion, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually head outside of the park, and I'm going to go onto the monorail loop, and I am going to say that it is about time that we put that fourth hotel on that monorail loop that has been teased and tantalized many, many times throughout. There was supposed to be a hotel just north of Contemporary that was nixed and put off to the side. And then there's supposed to be a hotel all the way across like either adjacent to Wilderness Lodge or over to the north side of that lake, back by in between Contemporary and Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge. You've got all of that room over there. You've got all that room to the north, all that room to the south. Even coming in towards the east side of it, on the actual monorail loop, there is plenty of room between the Contemporary and the TTC to use that land and get at least a decent sized facility put there. Again, integrating that monorail as a big draw as to why I would want to come and stay at that resort. So great. It's wonderful that the Grand Floridian expanded their villas up. We'll see how the Polynesian pulls off. I just hope that they use that Spirit of Aloha dining space where they are now constructing this kind of tower of villas and suites to at least create a restaurant that does a Spirit of Aloha dinner show. To a smaller degree, give me some hula dancers and the fire, bring back the fire guy. Like, that guy was just such a, you want to talk about, like, orb got created and rolled down the chute. Like,
core memory, yeah.
Yeah, like, that was from my childhood. I remember back, like, 13 years old, like, wow, look at the freaking fire guy. It's just a shame that, the generation right now is missing that. So at least at Polynesian. So back to what I was saying, like, it's great that we're expanding the Poly and the Floridian. Contemporary's already been kind of expanded and is kind of at its max, I think, in terms of its size. Give us another one and just pick a theme and give us something great, whether it's just south, whether it's next to Wilderness, whether it's north of Contemporary. Put it on the boat line, put it on the monorail. I would love to see a fourth resort hit the monorail, but if not, give me a sixth resort on the boat system. That would be absolutely wonderful. If I was in charge of Magic Kingdom, I'm going to branch out to the Magic Kingdom area, and I'm going to expand the hotel offerings there, being the key park that people with kids bring their kids to.
Yeah, and I'm with you on this fourth monorail. Now, I want to say when they did the original two, so the original two when Walt Disney World was built, were the Contemporary and the Polynesian Village. There was supposed to be a third hotel built on a Venetian-themed or Mediterranean-themed resort. That was supposed to be built with the initial two, and it just never happened.
I would even settle for a resort being built down the Epcot line on the return side of it, or even like the lines come close enough where you could build a resort there where the Epcot monorail stops and you can get on heading to Epcot, or the return line stops and you can get on it to come back to the TTC, and just kind of reconfigure how that looks so that I could get off the return line and get straight onto the express line. Like, just like that would be an even option. Like, go explore the property down there and put a big hotel on the dual line spot where we could kind of monorail either way.
Yeah.
When you and I talked about Epcot, we talked about give me a gate hotel. Well, doing what I just said, pick some of, like, the whole way from the TTC to Epcot is just
open
grass area.
Yeah.
For the vast majority of it, right? So, that is my thing. If I was in charge of down there, if I'm looking at building another hotel, that is I'm eagle eyeing in on that. That is the number one opportunity for a hotel. And I would even dare say, try to put it in the mid to upper intermediate range. Maybe pull a little bit of the extravagance out of it, in the same way that we have a value and an intermediate on the Skyliner. We need to put an intermediate on the monorail, just pull away a little bit of the pomp and circumstance, and give me like a more, like you said, Mediterranean theme, Caribbean beach style layout, but there's a monorail station that I can get to.
Yeah, yeah. No, that would be awesome, because if you put a large intermediate, when you think of those intermediates, they're enormous resorts.
Yeah.
That would make a ton of sense.
Bus to a monorail station would be amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that would be awesome. No, that's a great idea. Okay. So before I get into my number one, if you have a better idea than we had, let us know. Put it in the comments. Talk to us on Spotify. There'll be a Q&A up on Spotify, or go over to the website and hit the little text box up in the top right corner, and you can send your answers there, or your top 3 ideas. Jabo, which I think I know who it is now, sent us 31 a couple weeks ago. 31 new top 3 ideas, which was pretty cool. So definitely want to say thank you over there. But getting into my number one, I'm going to go back into Tomorrowland. And when I think of Tomorrowland, and when I think about kind of the newer characters that could embody Tomorrowland, there's only one set of characters that really comes to mind for me, and that's Wally and Eve. And we need to do something for them in Tomorrowland. I mean, you've got that big show building where Alien Encounter was at one point, Stitch's Great Escape was there. You've got that space there. Or, and this is where the meme where everybody's pointing the sword at me, change the People Mover to a Wally themed ride. And then you've got Wall-E in Tomorrowland. I think it's one of those things where, you know, when they were testing those free range drone, or the droids out in Galaxy's Edge in California, they have a free range Wall-E that they could just motor around through Tomorrowland.
Yeah, I mean, for the Star Wars stuff now, they're making real functioning droids. Like, you know, real Chopper came out on the stage during D23. Like,
yeah,
there's no reason. And we've got to have the technology to make an approximate functional Eve even. I'm going to double down on that. Like, why aren't Meet the Robinsons in there?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, Meet the Robinsons is the #1 movie, in my opinion, that tips its hat to Walt. Like, in terms of newer age movies, it is the #1 movie that straight up says this was Walt's dream, and we don't have it in Tomorrowland. It's literally like, give me something. Like, let me meet some of the characters, or give me
you don't have that. You don't have the Rocketeer. You don't have. I mean, there's a lot of great Disney movies that there's really nothing there that they could do so much with in that area. There is a lot of wasted space in Tomorrowland. There is. So, all right. Well, that's our top 3 for tonight. Like I said, if you have a better top 3, or if you have a better #1 than us, put it in the comments. Send us an email. Put it in the Q&A over on Spotify. Let us know. We'd love to rehash some of your guys' ideas on a future show. But past that, thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.